What are the most inadequate demands you have ever heard from your roommates in a rental apartment or home? It wasn't an apartment neighbor, it was an upstairs neighbor. I started living in a basement apartment that no one had lived in for a long time, and the guy who lived above me turned out to be some kind of fruit. If anything, he wasn't even the landlord. He came down to me and informed me that I wasn't allowed to lock the outside doors in any part of the building. Said I wasn't allowed to lock the doors between the common laundry room and my personal storage room because he prefers to dry his shirts there. Said he had to sleep with the subwoofer on full blast connected to the TV. His bedroom was right above mine, because he has PTSD. I started noticing someone moving things around in my apartment and noticed on the camera footage that he was entering my apartment when I wasn't home. I immediately started calling the police every time he gave me a reason to do so. I complained to the landlord, and eventually he was evicted. Now I have the best neighbors in the world, and I hope I never meet this guy again. On the day I checked into an apartment where a rather attractive girl lived, I suggested that she go out to dinner tonight. I made it clear that this was not a date. She replied, "Okay, but if I go, I expect you to pay for my bus fare in full, as well as the full cost of what I eat and drink. Also, I will choose the restaurant myself, and the cost of what you eat should be less than the cost of what I eat." That night I dined alone. I lived with a dude who put his boyfriend in his room without asking anyone in the house but didn't increase his share of the rent or utilities because he needed a place to live. This same dude wanted me to pay more for utilities and rent because my girlfriend used the shower when she stayed at my house for the weekend. Several times I added one extra cent to my rent check and wrote in the comment box, "For my girlfriend using the shower." I was kicked out of the room I rented for allegedly using the laundry room too often, even though I did it twice a week. According to the landlord, he was getting exorbitant water bills because of this. Naturally, he was not at all embarrassed by the fact that my roommate let his girlfriend live in his room, which caused an extra body to settle in the apartment. That I leave my door unlocked so she can have access to my room when I'm at work. I put the trash can outside my room door and squeezed my way outside with the door ajar just a little bit. If the garbage can is moved when I get home, I know for a fact that someone went in there. Stop cleaning the kitchen, especially when my friends are at my place. I can clean up after myself, you're making me look bad. Well, experience, and the state of your bedroom, has shown that you don't like to do it, and I'm not going to cook my own meals in the dirt because of your pride. I lived with a girl who had a dog. And it was a wonderful dog. I loved it, but it wasn't my dog, and I didn't have to take care of it. More than once or twice, my roommate had been out drinking at a bar or doing other inappropriate things and then would not let my phone ring, demanding that I run home to walk her dog, feed her, or do anything else. I could be in class, at work, or at a friend's house. Whatever I was doing, she thought it wasn't as important as what she was doing. That same neighbor would often call me at work and demand that I lend her fat boyfriend the keys to her apartment so he could get into our apartment. I refused her. That same neighbor would get drunk as shit, lock the apartment, leave the keys inside, and just kill my phone battery with her texts, calls, and FaceTime calls for me to come over and let her into the apartment. One time I did that. The next time, I made her wait 3 hours, hoping she would sober up. After 3 hours, she was still so drunk she couldn't stand on her feet. Twice, this happened on New Year's Eve and Independence Day. Both times, she was really hoped that I would leave my friends, find a cab, come home at rush hour, and help her get into her apartment. I'm glad to report that I don't live with her anymore. I lived with 2 guys who previously lived only with their parents. At first, it was okay, one of us cooked dinner, and the other 2 did the dishes. Then somehow it became a tradition that they demanded that only I always do the dishes, even on the days when I wasn't home for dinner. After a while, the situation became so disgusting that even their friends began to say that they were behaving inadequately. Could you guys not hug so much? I'm all alone, and you guys keep reminding me of that. My ex-roommate said this to me and my girlfriend. He wasn't kidding. A friend of mine knocked on my door one morning and asked me not to let my girlfriend stay with us overnight because he didn't have anyone, and when he saw couples, he was sad. No, man, I'm not going to stay single forever so you can be a little less miserable. He wanted me to do his laundry every week while he was away because of his work, whose schedule was constantly changing. If I didn't do his laundry, he would quietly wear my underwear and socks when he didn't have his own clean underwear and socks. And then he began to wear my clothes quietly, as long as I didn't do his laundry. One housemate used to leave the house without taking his keys with him. No, he didn't forget them, he just didn't like carrying his keys around. Ever. The requirement was that I not lock the house when I left it. She told me that I needed to spend the night somewhere outside the house because her new boyfriend was going to spend the night with us for the first time. I said that if she had given me advance notice, I could have worked something out, but she told me just 2 hours before he came over that I had to leave right away. My freshman year of college, he insisted that we put in 2 window fans, one pointing inward and one pointing outward, for air circulation. It seemed like a big deal, didn't it? Only he insisted that they be at full power. Every night. All year. It didn't matter if it was August or January. It didn't matter if it was 37 degrees outside or -23. My bed was closer to the window, and if I tried to turn them off, he would start acting pretty aggressively. To hell with it. He paid the utilities, so he forbade me to turn on my computer. Although in fact I was paying 60% of the rent to cover the utility bills. She asked me to cut her toenails because she hates feet. My first semester of college, I had a roommate who was only 18 years old. When he found out I was 21 and could buy alcohol, he came up with a grand plan for me to buy alcohol so he could throw amazing parties. Was he going to give me money to buy alcohol? No. Was he going to invite me to these parties at our house? No. In fact, he planned to do that all weekend when I wasn't home. When he moved out, his parents ruined some of my electronics and stole a couple of my things, so I guess his whole family is a bunch of jerks. One day my roommate told me to save some of my pizza, which I bought myself, for her friends who were going to come over. No way. You can leave your friends the pizza you bought yourself. I'm going to eat my pizza. If your friends don't have anything to eat, order them something yourself. We'd been living together for 8 months, and we still haven't gotten laid. I'm a man who was in a serious relationship at the time. This was after she tried to open the bathroom door while I was peeing, because I wanted to see your hose. Why aren't you showing it to me? Is it crooked or something? It wasn't long before she told me she wanted to teach my girlfriend how to give me a better blowout because I deserved it. I had a housemate who forbade me to come to the first floor of the house at all when he had friends over. When he was about to move out, he said he would keep his keys with him so he could come and go as he pleased. I only put up with the first demand to avoid his tantrums. I wasn't going to put up with the second demand, however. We had several rooms in our apartment, one of which was huge, designed for 2 or 3 people. There was a sink and 2 dressing rooms. After we signed the lease, she stated that she needed to live alone in that huge room because she had PTSD and OCD. She didn't explain anything else. When we refused to let the 4 of us squat in 2 tiny rooms for her to live alone in the big room, she was passive-aggressive toward us for another month. We told her she could settle down in the big room but with someone else. She was not satisfied with that option. In the end she chose one of the smaller rooms. And we had to listen to her endless complaints. Every time she was late for class, she blamed us because she didn't have her own private bathroom, etc. You're going to ask anyway, so I'll write right away, yes, she did see a therapist. But according to her, she went to a therapist because she needed to learn to be less selfless and put herself first. She often used this as an excuse for her selfishness. Be sure to subscribe to our channel not to miss new super interesting discussions. If you have your own answer, post it in the comments. Like and click on the bell not to miss new videos. In the meantime, check out our other videos.